While most people fall asleep within minutes of hitting the pillow, their minds shutting down automatically, there's a massive group of people whose brains do the exact opposite. The lights go off, the room gets quiet, and suddenly, their thoughts get louder. Regrets, conversations from years ago, imaginary futures, worst-case scenarios, and no matter how tired their body is, their mind refuses to rest. If that's you, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change how you see your nighttime overthinking. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Overthinking at night doesn't mean you're weak, it doesn't mean you're broken, and it doesn't mean you can't control your thoughts. In fact, it often means your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do, just at the wrong time. Let's start with the obvious question. Why does overthinking happen at night? During the day, your brain is busy. Tasks, noise, conversations, screens, responsibilities, all of it keeps your attention externally occupied. But at night, all of that disappears. And when stimulation drops, your brain doesn't shut off. It turns inward. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network, the part of your brain responsible for self-reflection, memory, imagination, and future planning. When the world goes quiet, this network turns on full volume. That's why your deepest thoughts don't show up at noon. They show up at 2 a.m. But here's where it gets interesting. People who overthink at night often have high mental sensitivity. Their brains are excellent at pattern recognition, simulation, and anticipation. In simple terms, they think ahead. They don't just process what happened. They simulate what could happen. This trait is incredibly useful for problem-solving, creativity, and emotional intelligence. But at night, when there's nothing left to do, that same strength turns into a loop, and it gets worse. Because at night, your brain chemistry changes. Levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, tend to rise slightly in people who are anxious or highly conscientious. Meanwhile, distractions are gone, and emotional regulation is weaker due to fatigue. So your brain starts asking questions like, what if I mess this up? What if I said the wrong thing? What if everything falls apart? Not because something is wrong with you, but because your brain believes this is the safest time to solve unresolved problems. But wait, it gets weirder. Your brain does not understand the difference between thinking and threat. When you replay an embarrassing moment or imagine a painful future, your nervous system reacts as if it's happening right now. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, sleep disappears. This is why overthinking at night feels so intense. You're not thinking too much. You're emotionally reliving. And people who don't overthink at night, they often have stronger cognitive shutdown mechanisms. Their brains are better at compartmentalizing. When the day ends, their mind follows. Overthinkers don't shut down easily because their identity is tied to awareness, responsibility, and understanding. They don't want to miss something important. But there's another layer most people miss. Nighttime overthinking is often linked to unprocessed emotion. During the day, you perform, you regulate, you hold it together. At night, when no one is watching, your brain finally says, okay, now we can feel. That's why overthinking often revolves around relationships, mistakes, meaning, and the future. These aren't random thoughts. They're unresolved emotional files. And here's something people rarely hear. Overthinkers often care deeply. They replay conversations because they value connection. They worry about the future because they value stability. They analyze their actions because they value growth. Indifference sleeps easily. Concern stays awake. Now, let's clear something up. Yes, overthinking at night can become unhealthy when it turns into rumination, anxiety, or self-punishment. But the tendency itself isn't a flaw. It's a signal that your brain is oriented toward meaning, responsibility, and foresight. The problem isn't that you think too much. It's that your brain has learned to use nighttime as processing time instead of recovery time. And that's something that can be retrained. But before we talk solutions, here's the part that explains why overthinkers feel misunderstood. People who fall asleep easily often think, just stop thinking. But overthinkers don't choose to think. Their brains are wired to scan, connect, predict, and reflect, especially when external noise is gone. Silence doesn't calm them. It activates them, and that's why nighttime feels heavier. But here's the quiet truth. Many overthinkers are also deep thinkers, creatives, strategists, and emotionally intelligent people. Their minds are rich, sometimes too rich for their own good. Their challenge isn't lack of control, it's lack of containment. So what does all this mean? If you overthink at night, you're not failing at sleep. You're not weak-minded. You're not broken. You're someone whose brain is designed to search for meaning when the world goes quiet. The key isn't silencing your mind. It's teaching it when to think and when to rest. And the next time you're lying awake, staring at the ceiling while your thoughts spiral, remember this. Your mind isn't attacking you. It's trying to protect you, just in a language it learned too well. If this resonated with you, you'll probably want to understand why some people can't turn their brain off, and how that same trait can become your greatest advantage instead of your nightly curse.